That's me, basically, with this topic. What is up, you guys? It is your boy, Brent Vegas here. Welcome to another series video on this channel, and not because of me for once, it is because of the shooting in Las Vegas that unfortunately killed a person and put a lot of people in injuries in critical situations. This is so frustrating to me. Like, I just recently thought of this until now, and this is one of the most frustrating moments I think I've ever had as an NFL fan. This has got to be one of the worst years in terms of fans. Like, we had not one, not two, but people, three people that have died because they went to a football game. Yeah, that's why. That makes no sense. Now you're like, wait, what? 3 people? Yeah, 3 people have died this year just to go to freaking football games. And also, I don't know if this is even true or not, if it's more than that. So, 2 of them result in 2 years of Dolphins games where in week 2, we had a Dolphins fan punch a New England Patriots player or something like that. And yeah, he died to that. And I hope that guy's suspended as well from going to football games. And then in week 18, the final game of the year, I think it's a Bills fan, I don't remember, went to a football game, right? He got shot. I don't know who, and I don't know if he's a Dolphins fan or a Bills fan or not. I don't know. But this is a serious problem. And I'm saying this is a fact. Football games should be enjoyed by everybody, and nobody has to be getting hurt or risk their lives just to be at a football game. Not to have punches going out, gunshots, stuff like that. This is a big issue. And I'm honestly very frustrated with this. Like, imagine people killing people just because they're going to football games. That sounds very ridiculous. Or being a fan of a specific team. Like, you can hate me all you want that I'm a Packers fan. You can hate me all you want. Sorry about that. But, like, again, people risking their lives. So I'm sorry where I left myself, but it's so frustrating that people are risking their lives to be in that football games. It's one of the most stupidest things I've ever heard. Like, you need to increase security. I don't care. Helicopters, I don't freaking care. It's getting ridiculous. Like, this is stupid. Like, killing people, again, it's one thing. But because of I'm going to a football game and it's a team that beat you, is insane. And even in the week 2 one, the Dolphins beat the Patriots. And yet the Dolphins fan killed a Patriots fan. Is this ridiculous or not? I'm sorry, but like, this is one of the most frustrating things I've ever seen. Like, it's so undeniably stupid that I've never seen this stuff before. It's like, the NFL is not getting a ton of media because of football anymore. And it's honestly kind of getting pretty sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's, like, literally now, like, Taylor Swift, the gun shootings, and rest. It's not because of particularly the football game. It's because of things that ruin the experience. Like I said, the killings, that is ruining people to going to football games. Taylor Swift is ruining people from watching football games, except, obviously, the Swifties. And the rest are ruining games, not for just us as fans, but other people as well. It's so undeniably frustrating. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, imagine, like, a reality where none of these were even an issue. Like, who knows? Maybe the Chiefs, we won't be thinking that they're made it to the Super Bowl. We wouldn't be talking about these situations, like the Chiefs shooting. Like, it's so undeniably stupid. There are a ton of headlines of some of the most stupidest things about football, and it's honestly very frustrating. Like, also, like for example, Darnell Quez, like, I think he was suspended for 6 games due to a quote unquote hit that it isn't really entirely his fault. It's so ridiculous. This is like we're literally talking about stuff that are so annoying. Like Tom Brady even talked about that situation as well. About like how this is like such a ridiculous and Gardner Minshew shouldn't have thrown that so then he could get, you know, it's so ridiculous, and that's like kind of one thing that's kind of been frustrating me. Like, and also the one thing I will admit that's kind of frustrating too is the Chiefs that are kind of ruining our fun again. Like I said again because of the Patriots, like they're kind of becoming the new Patriots, which is stupid. You can hate me all you want about how the Packers won 2 Super Bowls in a row, but at least they didn't won like another Super Bowl till like what, like in the 1980s or 90s or something like that. Like it took them a long time until they got another Super Bowl. And the Seahawks, we only won 1 Super Bowl, and it really could have been 2. So I don't really want to hear any hate with my team specifically on the Super Bowl. What I should be hearing is specifically either the Niners, the Cowboys, or also the Chiefs and the Patriots, the recent dynasties at the moment. So those are kind of like some of the things that are just honestly ruining football for me. It's kind of sad, honestly, because I love football, and football is one of my favorite sports. But every time, like I said, like, and this is a perfect example of this. Every time I look at the Sean Taylor incident and the Damar Hamlin incident, like people that have actually died before their careers were physically over. Like also like Dwayne Haskins, like players that like unfortunately didn't do things that deserved this. Like Patrick Willis, he retired early due to an injury. Damar Hamlin, or wait, no, I already said him. Well, basically he's done with his career. Eric Berry, another safety, funny enough, had cancer, which honestly made him more struggled in terms of actually playing in the NFL. And same thing with Calvin Ridley. Like, it's sicknesses and also, sicknesses, injuries, or just people being mean, and obviously Taylor Swift and games and referees. There are a lot of things that are just ruining football. And it's honestly just starting to become from 2000 and afterwards. It seems ever since. It's like this like modern trend of just terribleness that has really been kind of ruining football. And it sucks too. Like it's really sad because like I remember football used to be very fun and entertaining. Well, obviously I wasn't existing back in the 90s, but like I remember when I wasn't worrying about this. I wasn't worrying about shootings and Taylor Swift and dynasties and stuff. I was just watching my team and having fun. Now, unfortunately, that is done due to rest and other crap. It is ridiculous, and it's starting to get very frustrating. And unfortunately, there isn't a good solution for anything. Like Taylor Swift, you can't just cancel her to going football games. You can't like have like max protection stage in terms of the stadiums. You can't like, and you can't. Well, I guess there is a thing that you can fix with the refs. So it's called you could review the call before you do it again. Like again, like it's just there are a lot of things that are going on, and it's kind of sad to say the least. And the one thing though that I kind of wish that football had was a fantasy draft. Now you're wondering why? Why a fantasy draft? Well, this is how it would work. The last pick team, so let's say like the Super Bowl team, they would get the first pick, right? So Chiefs probably would take Patrick Mahomes at that pick. But here's the twist. The Chiefs can't just obviously pick the first overall pick in every single round, because then that's not fair, right? So they would have the first pick, and then they would go to the last pick. So it's like kind of like how like actual NFL fantasy drafts actually work. And that's kind of what I wish the NFL could just do. restart the entire thing. Like, coaches, they could honestly be in the fantasy draft, and I wouldn't mind. It's just very fascinating and interesting to see what it would look like if you had, like, all of this, you know? It would be very fascinating and interesting. It would make NFL, like, games, like, much more interesting and enticing. Like, imagine, like, a team where, like, it was, like, Andy Reid with, like, Justin Fields and DJ Moore and Derrick Henry. It's, like, things like that makes things a bit more interesting. While, like, what we have now, it's kind of just more predictability and stuff like that. It's kind of sad, you know. It sucks. And the one thing I also will admit that is something I wish there was in the NFL is not just one playoff game for each time. So what I mean by this is, you know, like the NBA where there's like multiple games to decide who wins? That's basically what I'm trying to say for the NFL. It doesn't even have to be like best out of 7 like it is in the actual NBA. It could just be like best out of 3. And, you know, because I say this specifically because then the refs aren't ruining every single freaking game. So that's why specifically I like this as an idea. And then, who knows, maybe I might want to change this for the Super Bowl and have like best out of 5 or something. You know, that's just what would make things interesting. And also, division lineups could be something interesting. Because, like, for example, the Ravens, yeah, they could make sense that they're a North team. But they're in Maryland, right? That's like the east side of the state or the country. So that's kind of make no sense. Indianapolis really should be up north. Pittsburgh could be in the east. There are actually a ton of examples. Heck, even the Cowboys don't even make any sense. Why are they in freaking Dallas? They should be really a South team then. The Arizona Cardinals, yeah, it does make sense that they're West because they're in Arizona, obviously. But they really should be more of a South team then. It's like some of the stuff that just make no sense. Like, why not have all Florida teams be in the same division? It's like some of the stuff just does not make any sense. So, and also it would make things like Pro Bowl more interesting because we're not seeing the same team uniforms every single freaking time. Like, for example, let's say like the Seahawks, like, you know, obviously I think they should still be more of a West team, but like they could be like an AFC team, you know? That'd just be interesting. Things can make interesting, you know? And obviously there are still some divisions that make sense, like the NFC North, for example. Bears, the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers, they all fit perfectly in the NFC North because they're literally in the middle and they're literally basically close to a candidate. So that it makes sense. So obviously some divisions I don't think deserve this, but some do. Like, and it's very annoying. Like, also the same thing I guess you can also say with the Dolphins. The fact that they're there is ridiculous. But those are just stuff I have to talk about. It's just it's necessary. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace.